Hello everybody, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day today. So, a couple weeks ago, I made Zach play against Martin, and it ended up being a draw, as Martin could not fully convert his advantage that he got. Today, they have a rematch, with Martin playing as Black here. So, Zach starts with e4, and Martin goes for the French defense. In response, Zach plays this weird move d3. It's apparently theory, but and Martin just continues the normal plan of the French defense. Zach develops his knight, and Martin, he could have played d4 and stuff and kicked the knight, but he played g6. Zach developed the other knight, which makes d4 even better now. So, but Martin didn't find that because he's 250 elo. Zach, there are a lot of inaccuracies. This is a really bad opening. Zach plays f3. No. Which allows actually d4 and here. So, Martin goes for queen h4 check. I would have went for that too. Apparently that's a great move. I find that dumb. Nobody's gonna play this move. And also, nobody's gonna move their king. But, Zach played the most obvious move. And Martin lost his queen. Zach didn't find it. Martin moved his queen all the way back. Zach didn't recapture the pawn for some reason. Martin just tries to go for a double fianchetto. And this is a really dumb chess game. I mean, this is a miss because yes, it stops that. But instead he could have played f takes e4 and recaptured the pawn here. But yeah, they proceed to make some stupid moves here. And here we enter a super long blunder and miss sequence. Knight c6. This is bad because of knight takes e4, setting this pin or whatever. They miss that. Martin makes another blunder, allowing knight takes e4 again. Zach mixes it again. Martin straight up blunders his knight. Not even a tactic, he just blunders his knight. Zach blunders his rook. And if we saw earlier, he played rook a2, 3 moves ago. No, I mean 4 moves ago. And the reason is because Zach can predict the future. He predicted Martin was gonna blunder a bunch of pieces and do this fork. So the rook a2 was a very prophylactic move. Then Martin straight up bonk cloud Zach. I think Martin was trying to, rage bait Zach because, it was a draw last time, but Martin could have won if he just converted the advantage. So just rage baiting Zach, I'm so much better than you. Zach blunders his rook again. Martin doesn't find it. Zach moves his knight. Oh, by the way, this entire time the knight was hanging. Yeah, this knight. Zach and Martin checks. Zach moves his king instead of taking the knight. Martin loses the knight again. Zach develops his rook, I guess. Martin takes. And finally, Zach takes the knight. And Zach is up material. 2 pawns for a knight. And you have a lot of pressure. The position's gonna open up. Your king's stuck in the middle. So, yeah. Martin moves his king back. Yeah, he moves his king back. Double bonk cloud Zach. Zach didn't do anything about it. Martin develops his bishop. Zach makes another blunder, his knight. And Martin takes. Yay. Now it's even material, except Martin actually has 2 extra pawns. And Zach. Really, Zach? Why? And actually, Martin didn't take immediately. This is not a bad move, by the way. You know, it's the third computer move. Rook c8 check was better. The king moves, and he takes the queen. Martin is up a full 11 points of material now. A queen and 2 pawns. And Zach is basically hopeless, you know. He basically gives up on this game. And Zach blunders a bishop. And here, Martin blunders his queen back. And Zach took. Now, it's still better if Martin just recaptured the bishop. But no, Martin blunders his bishop instead, making it completely even. Zach takes his pawn, you know, a prophylactic move. And Martin blunders his rook. And Zach doesn't take. Martin blunders again, blunders his bishop. Zach moves his rook. Martin takes the pawn, actually pinning himself. Like, it would have probably been better to take this way. It's not ideal, you know, it's not the best move. Bishop a3 was the best here. But yeah, Martin takes. Zach does just blunders his bishop. And Martin blunders his bishop. I think Martin thought, oh look, I got a skewer. Nice. I mean fork. Nah. Zach played king c1. Martin traded rooks when he could have just pinned his rook and won it for free. And then Zach didn't even recapture. And Martin is just completely dominating. Back again, 11 points of material. Martin, and then they begin to shuffle some pieces for a lot. Like here, they're shuffling the pieces around. Martin winning more material. Martin is completely winning this time. In the last match, Martin wasn't winning by that much. I think he was winning up a bishop and a couple pawns. You know, all he had to do was push his pawns and promote. Martin didn't do that and it ended up in 3-fold repetition. Martin gives some checks when there's a mate in 4. If you're wondering what the mate in 4, by the way, is, it is bishop b3 here. And then, you know, king b1, and then bishop a3, king here, and then checkmate. You know, you form a mating mate. But you guys, Martin couldn't find that, he just checked him. I would have checked him too, I wouldn't bother finding mate, I'll just check him from out and stuff. King moves. Martin blunders his rook, it doesn't even matter. Apparently the best move. Even though that's not the best move. I don't know why. It's broken the computer. And Zach takes. Martin doesn't even recapture. Just flexing on Zach. Zach takes, which is a mistake because they're now mate in 10. I'm not going to show you that. That's too long. But Martin checks him. Martin takes the bishop. And it's hopeless for Zach. Maybe another 3-fold repetition. Or maybe Martin can't convert. And here, Zach pushes his pawn. Here, it doesn't matter because you can just move your rook. But this, here Martin checks the bishop with the bishop and blunders his rook. Now Zach can simply just take here, boom, this winning. Here, Zach played g8 equals queen. He promoted to the wrong square. That is just disappointing. Maybe he misclicked. Martin obviously took. And, you know, they begin to shuffle some pieces. Martin trying to find some sort of checkmate or move his pawn forward. Blunders his rook. Zach takes. But here, I was like, it's gonna be another draw by 50 move rule. Like, I thought it was hopeless. But here, Martin slowly marches his king. Then marches his pawn. And they slowly shuffle their pieces a little bit. And he creates this cage. Because Zach cannot escape. Because these 3 squares are covered, and these 2 are covered by his king. So Zach is literally stuck. Zach's king is stuck in the corner. And all he can do is move his king. Martin breaks the cage, but he can simply make it back. Martin pushes the pawn, and Martin found the a crazy checkmate. I didn't not expect Martin to find this checkmate, but he found it. And Martin finally beats Zach, and Zach is crowned as the worst chess bot. Yeah, I'm sorry if you lost 80 brain cells or 160 brain cells for each move, but I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.